Hey there. Most people know that there are two different types of throws in Guilty Gear Strive. There's the normal universal throw that you get by hitting forward plus dust, and every character has this. And you can throw people forward or you can throw them backwards. Very simple, every character has this. This is super fast, and in a scramble might be one of your go-to options. And then there are character-specific command grabs that do unique things. Like in Zato's case, his command grab completely refills Eddie's gauge so that he can continue to use Eddie as much as he wants. So if we use all of Eddie's gauge and then go for the command grab, it's going to refill by the time the command grab is over. Really, really nice. In Nagoriyuki's case, he's going to want to avoid using too many special moves because this gauge fills up, and when it does, he's going to lose a lot of his health before he gets out of this Blood Rage mode. So he wants to avoid this from happening at pretty much all costs. And luckily, his command grab avoids this from happening. It basically drains the entire gauge whenever he lands it, so he's very much incentivized to use this command grab when possible if he wants to be able to continue going ham and continue doing what he wants to do. Another thing is that normal grabs can be teched if both players throw at the same time. We kind of push each other away and we go back to neutral. But command grabs, they cannot be teched. Command grabs cannot be broken by the opponent, they have to be avoided by the opponent. Alright, so everything I mentioned is pretty much common knowledge. Command grabs are unique, they can't be broken by the opponent, and they do unique things. Some of them do a lot of damage, some of them give you a benefit if you happen to hit them. I think Zato and Nago are really unique examples of their command grabs doing really cool things. But there's one more huge difference between normal grabs and command grabs. And this difference tends to fly under the radar, and it really is huge. Command grabs are invincible to regular grabs. Command grabs cannot be thrown by other grabs. Command grabs are not invincible to normal attacks, so if someone were to just smack me with a move, I would get hit trying to command grab, but if they tried to throw me and I tried to command grab at the same time, my command grab is actually going to win. So I have this recording with Nago here where he does his quarter circle back heavy slash, where he does this kind of flip here. This move is really good. This move is 0 on block, meaning that neither player has an advantage. And if we were to throw at the same time, we're going to break the throw. If I were to try to hit a button here, even my fastest button like my 5P, like my punch, I'm going to lose here, because my punch is not faster than a 2-frame throw, and the universal throws that everyone has are super fast, just 2 frames. So if I want to beat this, I have to kind of call it out by backdashing to get away, or by jumping to get away, and then maybe I could get some kind of a punish. Especially if we called out with a backdash, we could get a big counter hit combo. But both of these options are risky. But there is another way to beat this, and that is to use our command grab, because our command grab is actually invincible to his throw. We can't get thrown here. Our command grab is going to win. I'm not saying this is an option you should do in this situation very often, or maybe even at all, because it is super risky. Command grabs are a little bit slower than regular grabs. Zato, for example, is 7 frames. If you don't understand frame data, just know that it is noticeably slower than a regular throw. Still quick enough that there's no way you're reacting to this, don't get me wrong, but it is a little bit slower than a normal grab. So if we record him doing this and then mashing buttons, and I try to regular throw, it's fast enough to beat it. But if I go for a command grab, I'm going to get counter hit before it can come out. And that's just the nature of the situation here. So let's set the opponent to on wake up after recovery. Let's set him to throw. So if we knock the opponent down and we go and run up and try to throw them, we're going to break each other's throws and push each other away, and nothing really bad happens. But a common thing that happens in this game is maybe you mess up your meaty timing. Ideally, we hit them perfectly right as they wake up, and we can get a good combo. But if they try to throw and we're a little bit off on our timing, they're going to throw us because it's so fast. And one way to avoid this while still going for a mix-up is to go for a command grab, because their throw is just going to go right through us. We're going to throw them instead. You are still going to have to worry about the timing a little bit, because if you're too soon, you'll miss. If you're too late, they might throw you before then. But there is a sweet spot where the command grab should win every time. Okay, so command grabs beat regular grabs. Is that really that big of a deal? Why do you feel the need to make a whole video about this? Well, first of all, I wanted an opportunity to talk about this scrambly up-close situation that a lot of characters can put you in. Pretty much every character puts you in. Because whenever someone is close to you, throws are super quick, and they're always an option that might mess up what you're doing. But knowing how regular throws work and how command throws work is going to help you understand this sort of scramble situation a lot better than your opponents will. And the differences between these two throws creates a really interesting sort of rock, paper, scissors dynamic that you can take advantage of, especially if you notice that your opponent is leaning more towards one option than anything else. It's kind of like in rock, paper, scissors, if you saw that the opponent was always using rock, and they didn't know the options for paper and scissors, you would just pick paper every time to beat their rock every time. So learning how this sort of situation can play out is worth it for you so you can adjust when someone else doesn't. Alright, so when you're close to someone, throws are super quick. And throws also beat meterless reversals, like if someone has a Dragon Punch, like if you've watched Soul use Volcanic Viper, if you've seen Kai use Vapor Thrust, throws happen to beat those most of the time in most timings. And throws are super fast, so they're going to beat other attacks if the opponent tries to mash with a button of some kind. Meanwhile, command throws are a little bit slower, but they will beat regular throws. So if two people, every time they're close to each other, always respond with a throw, you have a few options here now. You know that you can jump in the scramble and whiff punish their throw. You know you can backdash in the scramble and then whiff punish their throw. And you know if your character has a command throw, you can command throw them. That will beat their throw as well. That'll probably beat the reversal because, again, throws beat reversals. It might depend on the timing a little bit. And there's the extra benefit of just if they're blocking, if they're being respectful because they don't want to challenge you in that scramble, the command throw is going to mix them up and throw them. And just the one thing you know you have to worry about is that command throws are a little slower, so if someone is mashing with their fastest attack, they are probably going to hit you out of your throw. So the rock, paper, scissors could be normal throw, or command throw / jumping / backdash, whatever option you want to choose that beats regular throw, or mashing. Okay, now let's get to the scenario I wanted to talk about the most that kind of inspired this whole video for me. And this is a situation that doesn't really make any sense if we didn't already cover what we talked about so far. So, I have the opponent set to blue RC drift forward, and then go for command grab. And if you want to know how to blue RC drift, it's literally just input a dash and really quickly Roman cancel with 3 buttons that aren't dust. So any 3 buttons that aren't dust is going to give you a Roman cancel. So, dash, Roman cancel, really fast. You can double tap for it, but I would suggest using a dash macro, and then you'll drift forward. You can also drift in other directions if you want, but for what we're doing right now, we are drifting forward with a blue RC. So we have the opponent set to do that, and then command grab. And this is basically unstoppable. You can beat it with certain things. It's very hard though. It's very, very difficult. So let's see what happens. First of all, so a lot of the time when you put an opponent in the situation where you sort of pause the game with a Roman cancel, both players are going to have a second to think about what they want to do because it is sort of a pause button. And typically, when you're in this up-close scramble with somebody, the fastest, best thing you can do is to throw. So most people are going to throw in this situation, a normal throw, a normal grab. But what happens when I try to normal throw? Look at my inputs on the left. I'm trying to do it. It doesn't work. Can't throw it because command throws are throw invincible. I also can't hit buttons and challenge it very easily. I'm trying to mash my punch button. It's not fast enough. It doesn't work. Even though normally we could mash buttons and beat a command grab if we guessed correctly, this time we can't because the blue Roman cancel, you see this clock that shows up around our character, it indicates that that character's time is basically slowed by half. Everything they do is half as fast, which means my 6-frame jab, my 6-frame punch, is now a 12-frame punch, roughly. I'm not 100% sure of the exact math, but I'm pretty sure it's about twice as slow. So, my 6-frame jab now becomes a 12-frame jab, and there's no way that's beating a 7-frame command grab. The lower number wins. The faster move wins. So, I can't mash. I can't regular throw. Funny enough, what we can do is we can actually command throw his command throw. Because ours takes twice as long, that means our invincibility period also takes twice as long. So he will miss his grab, and then ours will end up hitting his afterwards. We also can't jump as a guess. If I want to try to punish this, he's going to recover first, and he's probably going to be able to air throw me or anti-air me with something else. He could just go for a normal anti-air. He doesn't have to go for an air throw. So this situation, when someone is slowed down and they're hovering right above you, is really bad for them. So what if we try to backdash? Well, we can still block, but because we're so slowed down, his buttons are going to come out before ours if we try to hit something. And can we use a reversal? Can we use like Volcanic Viper? This move's completely invincible. I'm sure we've all been hit by it at one point or another. And the answer is no. Because throws beat reversals, at least meterless reversals. If we were to use a super, we'd actually win in this situation. And Soul does way too much with his. But just to recap, our buttons are probably going to lose. We can't throw to get out. We can't jump to escape because we're slowed down. And if we backdash, they're going to recover before us and make us block, or we're going to get hit. So what can the defending player do in order to beat this? Well, I already mentioned that you can use a reversal super if it has invul. So something like this is going to work. Not every character has this. Zato actually doesn't have an invincible reversal at all, so ironically, he would do this sort of situation to himself, and he wouldn't really be able to deal with it well. One thing we could do if we have a lot of meter too, is if we jump out, we might not like that situation, or if we backdash, we might not like this situation. But what if we slowed the opponent down too? So let's maybe spend some meter to slow them down after we backdash or after we jump out. And we could even drift down to make sure we can get an easy punish. And we're good to go. And then of course we could use our command grab. Soul has one as well. Because ours is going to be slowed down, our invincibility is going to last longer. Ours is going to go second, and the one that goes second is going to be the winner. And last thing, we could always burst. Gold burst is really good because if you happen to hit with it, you're going to get full resources. You will always have full meter when you're done, and the opponent will have just spent meter. So you're going to be in a situation where you have everything and they have almost nothing. And as we're talking about right now, having meter is really, really good because this kind of situation is really, really strong. And if you try to do this sort of drift forward and you see that they jumped, you can now try to anti-air them and do whatever you want, or you could try to air throw them. Having a pause button where the opponent is also slowed down afterwards is super, super strong. By the way, if you want to learn more about Roman cancels, check out my Roman cancel 101 video. It's something I'm super proud of. The algorithm did not like it when I uploaded it, but I think it's super useful. Roman cancels are one of the coolest things in this game, and one of the best things to try to understand in order to improve at the game. I'll have a link to that somewhere down below. So I feel like this video was a little bit all over the place, but I hope you guys learned something about command throws and regular throws. I hope this video wasn't too simple, and I hope it wasn't too in-depth. I want everyone to be able to watch this and take something important away from it, so hopefully I didn't miss the mark by too much. If you want to continue learning Guilty Gear Strive with me and other fighting games like Dragon Ball FighterZ, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. And let me know what you want to learn about the most down below. I'll be back with plenty more soon. Thanks for watching.